Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Natalie Poole. And Coach, went over to Wichita State, and unfortunately for every team, sometimes there's just that weekend you have. Wichita State comes out with a series win. They played pretty well, and as you had told me, it was just a matter of the freebies kind of, as always, they kind of come back to haunt you, whether it's softball or baseball.
Absolutely. I think that's just definitely significant statistics that, you know, when you walk people, how they find their way across the plate. And, you know, that's just kind of plagued us a bit this year, and it's something that we're continuing to fight out of. And, you know, even through meetings, you know, yesterday, just sitting and visiting and making adjustments and figuring out ways to create, you know, bullpen environments where there's more competition, maybe tunneling some paths where we pitch the ball and things like that. But there's definitely some things that we're continuing to work at to try to clean that up. And I believe if we clean that up, I think we're in much better shape because, you know, we're definitely swinging it.
It's interesting. We talked before the show about it in softball and baseball. You usually figure it takes 3 hits to get a run, and that's talking singles. Yep. Anytime you get one of those freebies, that just eliminates it down to 2 hits or maybe even 1 hit. And you can explain that. It's just a matter of execution. Absolutely.
You know, pretty much, you know, 90% of the walks that we've put out, you know, at least when I look back this past weekend and even the last day, you know, across the plate. And it just is part of the game, you know, whenever that happens, you know, it's easy to push runs across, and especially against a good hitting team, and that's what Wichita does. They sit back and they swing it, and you know, and they did exactly what they intended to do. And you know, for us, I know our girls are working hard, and it's definitely not the path that, you know, they're happy about. And so it's something that we're continuing to you know, hack away at, to work on making adjustments. And as we continue to get to the back half of this conference schedule, to continue to come out of that.
Chance to make a run in the back half. How's the team mentally handling things? You and I have talked a little bit about last year, with the success of last year's season. You got out to a good start this year. For some of these players, some of them kind of built what was last year, but maybe for the newcomers, the first bit of adversity they've really dealt with the last couple of weeks, trying to get out of maybe just a little bit of a rut.
Absolutely. You know, and people who've seen success, you know, I think it's always a little bit frustrating, like, well, where did this come from? You know, sometimes it just kind of sneaks up, whether it's a hitting slump or whether it's a little bit of a pitching slump, or, you know, you make a run where there's, you know, you make 6 errors in 10 games, and, you know, something that you hadn't seen maybe in the first 30 games. And so, you know, I definitely think it's just kind of a moment in time. And, you know, I can go back and look at some of the first 20 games that we played, 30 games that we played, and where I've seen them pitch different or play different defensively, or, you know, swing it differently. And so we try to go back and review those moments and try to, you know, think about what we were doing at that time, and, you know, how we were moving along and how we were finding success. And that's our job. Our job is to make sure that they see that, they're reminded of that, and that way, mentality-wise, that they're okay. And, you know, we're in their corner. You know, we've got their back, and, you know, we want to continue to provide what we need to help them be successful.
Now you have a week of no midweek games, a chance maybe to kind of catch your breath, reset, get back to fundamentals going forward, as you said, to the back half of conference season.
For sure. And today we'll have, you know, really good bullpen workouts, and you know, very specific. And then, you know, have a great practice, and the same tomorrow. Tomorrow we might get in some live swings and, you know, try to get in there and apply some of the things that we're working on today. And so that's our goal, is to get a couple great practices in before we go into this weekend. And, you know, the kids are working hard, and, you know, and trying to control the things that they can control, and, you know, and playing the game hard. And so I'm proud of them for fighting through moments where sometimes things aren't exactly the way that you anticipated or expected, you know, and we'll keep grinding at it.
Got the Houston Cougars. You're going to be dealing with the Cougars and maybe the weather again.
Of course. This past weekend, of course, we had a little bit of weather, and so, you know, it makes things difficult, especially like if you don't feel like things are going exactly the way that you want, to have to kind of push 2 games out in one day. Makes for a long day, and you know, and so we may end up being in that same situation today. So I'm hoping, you know, to come out on the better end, and, you know, and play Houston much better than what we've been playing, and you know, and be able to come out with the series win.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That is Natalie Poole. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.